In no way, shape, or form will I ever say that you have to go to film school to be a filmmaker.
If you're an independent filmmaker and
Well, boy.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Mandalorian reviews, and this is me, Kristian Harloff. Ready for me? Show you at me. That's me. Nice to see all of you. It's good to have you back. And, yeah. So, what's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Nice to see everybody. Nice to hear from everybody. It is, what the hell is today? Today is December 13th, and we have yet another review of The Mandalorian. Sorry for missing last week. If you didn't know, the Schmoedown Spectacular hit us. You know what? Let me put these things on. It's also some new things, by the way. There we go. So, for those joining right now, look at the sideways hat. Now I look at a real schmuck ass. How does that look? That's not how I needed it to look. What's happening here? Who is this? Perfect. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about last week. Like I said, I was at the Schmoedown Spectacular. We had to shut down the whole studio. I had to take everything off and all the cameras and move everything to the studio. So by the time I was done and trying to set it up with the webcam and everything, it just wasn't a thing. So I couldn't get to it. I'll give you my short recap on it before we start this one. And then the way that this works, if you're joining me, this is the full spoiler review for Chapter 6, which is titled The Prisoner. We get into it, and if you've never seen these reviews before, the way that it works here on this channel, in order to keep it going, we encourage STREAMLABS.com/the Schmoedown or Super Chats to help the network and the channel sustain and to keep on. And what I normally do is I review the episode itself, and then I go in and I go to the STREAMLABS.com/the Schmoedown. I read those questions. After I'm done with that, I do the Super Chats, and then we do a watch-along. So we do a full watch-along to this week's episode, and I will do the same thing today. So if you have questions and things you want to talk about, obviously spoiler-filled, so go ahead and throw those, start firing those in there now. The SCHMOEBOT is on, by the way. Thank you. The SCHMOEBOT is on right now, so if you want to interrupt with Star Wars questions, this is an SEN Live, so I encourage more of the SCHMOEBOT full-on questions. So if you want to interrupt the show, you can do that. Just go to STREAMLABS.com/the Schmoedown to do so. So a quick recap on last week's episode. I want to make it clear that it was definitely my least favorite episode for sure. And it wasn't a matter of the actual, I didn't think the directing was, well, the directing was okay on Filoni's part. I thought and I, you know I love Filoni, but the writing was pretty good for the overall story. I thought that the acting and the actual, I would have to say the direction of Amy Sedaris, because I think Amy Sedaris is an incredible actress, comedic actress. I think she was miscast in that role. It was, especially when you see the actual art at the end, I think that by taking the old lady and putting what was originally envisioned as the old lady, having that role, she just seemed like she was in a completely different show altogether. And then the wannabe kind of Han Solo character that it looks like it's setting up, even having him in Han Solo's booth when you go there, and then he, you know, that whole thing was just, I thought, poorly acted. What do you mean, Mando? Huh, Mando? What, Mando? I just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. But thought everybody else was pretty good in the episode, but it was fairly forgettable for me, that particular episode. Now, that being said, this episode, second favorite episode of the entire season. Loved it. Thought it was incredible. Thought it was. Now, I'm not going to argue with anyone who says that it makes it seem, once again, that this is just an episodic show and that it just bounces from the Mandalorian's next mission, protect the kid, meet new bad guys, kill new bad guys, move on. What's the next mission? It seems to be what it is right now, but inside of these little side missions, we're finding little tidbits. I didn't find that there were any tidbits really happening last episode, but there were a few tidbits throughout the actual episode. You learn a little bit more about what the Mandalorian did. He's finding his soul a little bit more. He's finding his heart through this kid for sure. It's right away. He needs some more money to survive and take the next job. So he calls a guy he used to work with, and he goes in, and the guy tells him, listen, man, no questions. I don't care. I heard you have problems with the guild, but you got to do this thing for me. Here's this crew that I put together, and they're a bunch of scumbags, if you will. But just get my guy out. That's all you got to do. He's a prisoner. And then we find out more that he's got history with the Twi'lek. Bill Burr, I don't know. I mean, I was going back and forth, I guess, with John Roca on this one. I thought Bill Burr was incredible in this episode. I thought that he was great, and it didn't bother. I mean, he had his voice in it. It's like I think when I was talking to Roca about it, I was like, how does he have a Boston accent? How does the Twi'lek sound like he's from London? I mean, what are we talking about? So I didn't have a problem with him at all, and I thought that his humor, he was basically Bill Burr, and I thought that his personality, it wasn't out of place. It felt in place for what the character was. So and Clancy Brown was great, and I thought the whole crew was pretty good, and even the droid, Zero the droid, all of it. It was just, you knew things weren't going to work out for sure. And when they do this whole mission, especially when they find out it's a New Republic ship and you see the New Republic and the way that they set up the droids, and then the one actual human New Republic guy, that whole scene, you can tell the Mandalorian didn't want to do it, but Twi'lek takes him out. The interesting part and the whole main thing, and Winston and I had this conversation this morning. The only thing I still don't understand is how Clancy Brown survived, because the first time when the gate comes down and almost smashes his head, he catches it and picks it up. The second time, it looked like his whole body was destroyed. And I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments. Hopefully, someone can tell me in the comments how he survived. I get how Bill Burr and the Twi'lek survived, because we never saw them get Mando didn't do anything to them. And then the way the whole thing at the end, and especially when both Cary Fukunaga and Dave Filoni and Deborah Chow show up as the cameos, I loved that. It was great. And initially, I only saw Filoni, and then when I rewatched it, at least the end scene with Winston this morning, I said, "Oh shoot! Look, didn't even realize that." It was Rick Fukunaga. So I say Cary. So anyway, it was. I really enjoyed the episode, and I think we'll go more of a break by break with it as we get through these comments and questions. But we also found out more is the checkered past that the Mandalorian had. He's been in this lifestyle for a while. What I hope and what I think should happen in season 2 anyway is that if you're going to have this entire season where it is like this kind of old school serialized television show from adventure to adventure, that's fine for season 1, but I think eventually you got to start tying back a lot of this stuff. And for example, I mean, like, I think that when you set up all these things that have happened, whether it's IG-11 that comes back or Gina Carano comes back and all these, and then the fact in general that Giancarlo Esposito hasn't showed up yet, like, how is he tying into the Empire? Is the Empire still on the run looking for the Mandalorian who's on the run? So I'm hoping that all these little things, and this is traditionally what, and I think RB3 pointed this out on SEN Live, and I agree with him, that Dave Filoni did this a lot during Rebels. He would set up episodes that you thought were filler, and then it all turned out to be conducive to the plot. And I was even going back and forth with somebody on Twitter who I like very much, and my friend Paul. And I disagree with him 100%. This is not a filler episode. Last week to me felt like a filler episode. This does not feel like a filler episode. This feels like one of those serialized episodes when you got more plot points. We learned more about the New Republic in this one. We learned more about Mandalorian's past in this one, and we also are going to be set up with that crew that is left alone. The fact that he left them to live means they're coming back, and they're going to come back a lot, especially that there's that relationship with that Twi'lek. There's no chance that she doesn't show up again, too. So there's all these characters that have been set up in this season so far that we're going to see a lot more of, absolutely, I think. So I'm going to look and ask you guys now, head on over to the STREAMLABS.com, streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. So Garth McMurray says that Clancy Brown survived because there was a space between the second set of doors they shut in front of his face. It didn't squish him, or then there would have been blood. I mean, that's certainly possible. Makes sense. I'm going to head over to Streamlabs first because I need to check that out, and then after I go to Streamlabs, then I'm going to go to Super Chat. But like I said, I've been doing these, and you guys have been asking so many questions. I can do these continuously because of all the Streamlabs and the Super Chat. So please keep those coming. This is the episode's about 45 minutes today, so I'm going to go through these questions, and then what I do while I watch the actual episode with you guys, as Super Chats come in, I answer those right as they pop up on the screen. So let's start with Toby Thrawn, who said he really liked the episode today. It wasn't his favorite, but it was a good episode and had a great horror vibe. Agreed. Pleasantly surprised by Bill Burr. The Purple Woman annoyed me, though. And God, I love that Filoni, Fumuya, Chow, Lanter had a cameo. I didn't know that. Ranking so far, 4, 3, 1, or 6, 2, 5. For me, my favorites are 3, 6, 2, 1, 4, and then 5. Those are my favorites in order. But yeah, I agree with you. It definitely had that horror vibe combined back with that Batman vibe. All of it. It was done very well. The Flaccid Force. Do you think that they will ever include a character like Kyle Katarn into the movies or TV series? I know he was a Gary Stu due to him being a video game character, but loved his Death Star story and arc. Would love to see a nod in the Cassian Andor series. I don't write those off ever because of the way that Dave Filoni brought back Thrawn, and he knows the characters that fans really move towards. I don't think that Mara Jade will ever show up, and I think that he'll probably do that it won't do that because in respect for George Lucas, who famously hated Mara Jade, and it also doesn't make sense for where they went with Luke Skywalker now. But as far as Kyle, it's very possible. I wouldn't say yes, and I definitely wouldn't say no. Joe the Giant. Bill Burr was proof famous actors can work in Star Wars. Not everyone has to be unknown. He never took me out of it. I loved Clancy Brown as well. He has the perfect bad guy voice. Well, yes and no there. With Bill Burr, I think Bill Burr is definitely a famous comedian, if not one of the most top comedians of all time. But I wouldn't call him like an uber celebrity the same way you would call an Angelina Jolie or a Leonardo DiCaprio. And that's a lot of the times when it's hard, or Tom Cruise. So Bill Burr, I mean, I think, but the same thing to that, I think that it did take a lot of people out because they couldn't see past Bill Burr and his Boston accent cursing up a storm, which to me, I just think he fit right into that character and did that. The character seemed to me to be written for him. I know him and Favreau are friends, and I think he just wrote that character for him. And I love the Gungan joke. I thought that was great. Those are the types of jokes in Star Wars I like when it fits. It's like he was like, it was like a crack on, it was like a meta joke, but not. Does that make sense? Like where you had him, that whole, we were in on the joke, but it still fit because the Gungans are kind of like an overall joke in general to the galaxy and to us. And when he was doing the Misa thing, it's like, oh man, that really worked well. And that whole scene with the baby, and everybody thought that Bill Burr dropped the kid, and everybody was pissed off and ready to write him off right away for that. And then what I really think that they did very well, and we covered it on the watch along, was when Zero the droid was hunting down the baby, and then when he opens up the thing and the baby goes back to that safe spot, he opens up and then the baby starts using force. And we've all seen these moments a billion times in film and TV where it looks like whoever is being hunted or whoever does something and it makes this little face, and the next thing you know, the person behind him is the one who really either shoots him or scares him. But I thought that they did this very creatively because we know that the baby has used the Force before, so that when the droid kind of imploded, we thought it imploded. We're like, oh wow, he just made it implode from the inside, and then the Mandalorian shows up. I thought it was a very creative way to play with an old trope. I thought that was awesome, actually. So, and this was Kristian Alante said, I noticed that the shows that feel more contributing to the overall story are the ones written by Favreau, and the ones not written by him are more self-contained. I got to say, I love this episode, and I can't wait to see how Chow and Taika finish it. I'm with you on that. I think that I'm very curious to see how Chow and Taika finish it. Because I think also because Deborah Chow had arguably the best episode, at least in my opinion, with chapter 3, and a lot of people I think were on the same page that this is going to be a very anticipated episode next week for sure. And I think it closes up next week too, right? Isn't it? Don't the two of them air next week? I think that's because they wanted to jump it before Rise of Skywalker came out. Exiled Garlic said, my favorite episode so far. Did you like the design of the New Republic security droids? I really dig them. I love the design of the droids. I thought they were actually pretty intimidating and seemed like you could actually take them out, man. Or they could take you out for sure. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go back to Super Chat here. And we say, Resistance Po' Boy, Matt Lanter, the voice of Anakin in the Clone Wars. You know what? Thank you. Matt Lanter, the voice of Anakin in the Clone Wars, was the rebel soldier in the prison ship. I love seeing the New Republic in action. 9. It was driving me crazy. I'm like, who is that? I know that. Who is that? And I was like, oh, it's Matt Lanter. Duh. So it makes sense. But I liked that scene. I did like that scene because it was showed the Mandalorian was like, I can't do this. We're going to be in some crap. And Twi'lek was like, just kill this guy. Get it over with. The ruthlessness also. Suthius. Hey, Kristian, I love me some Bill Burr, but I don't know, man. I just didn't buy him as a gun for hire as part of a ragtag team. He was fine enough. Are you like a massive Bill Burr fan? That could be it also. Maybe if you're just such a big fan. I don't know, though, because like I said, I've known Sebastian for a long time, and I'm a fan of his, and I bought him in The Irishman. But I think this role for Burr, I think it worked. I think it was written for him. To each his own. I thought it seems like a lot of people liked him, but it seemed like a lot of people like yourself had an issue with Burr. But I liked Burr. I thought he was pretty damn good. Jack Bauer, have you played through Fallen Order yet? Come on, man. I'm not going to finish that game until 2022. But I am playing, and I'm trying to play it at least like an hour a night. But it's been fun. It's been fun so far. Suthius, a lot of comedians in this show. Do they fit? Yes or no? Yes and no. And I think that's also because Jon Favreau is friends with a lot of comedians. He runs in that circle. He runs with Ahmed and Bill Burr and a lot of those dudes. So, yeah, it makes sense. Vince Vaughn and Favreau are really big into the comedy scene, and we'll probably see more. And I think that they have a lot of respect. And I have a lot of respect for Amy Sedaris. I think Amy Sedaris is a phenomenal actress. And I think she's a brilliant comedian actress, and I love her stuff. I just thought she didn't work in that episode to me. And she was doing the voice when Kate does her voice. It's so funny because Kate's voice is so over the top when she does the impression of Amy Sedaris, and it is the exact same way that Amy Sedaris is in the show. It's just, and I thought that she toned down though from the beginning of last episode. By the time we got to the end, like even when she leans in, she goes, "You're not as stupid as you look." Like that at that point, I thought she toned it down. But that opening scene with the droids and everything else, it just was too much for me. But there are a lot of comedians so far. I mean, Horatio Sands opened up in the first one too, and I thought he was fine. He was fine. I mean, I've rewatched that scene. Initially, I didn't love it, but I like him a lot better as I watch that because I also know that he's not having a big arc. Suthius, how powerful is the New Republic at this point in time? I mean, they're getting pretty powerful. It's only about 5 years afterwards, and they build and they build and they build. I mean, by the time we get to Bloodline, which is 6 years before The Force Awakens, the whole thing, it's just a vicious cycle. It's the same type of crap, and Leia at that point decides she's going to finally run to run the whole thing, to be the new Mon Mothma, if you will, the new Chancellor, and then stuff goes down with her. But yeah, I just I'm not sure exactly how powerful they are, but they're getting up there for sure. Nick Bascom, I love your reviews and watch-alongs. Well, thank you so much. The small ship that they were going to send out to kill the Mando at the end looked like an old Separatist CIS bomber from the Clone Wars. Schmoedown. Yeah, I think it did also. And I liked it. I like how they use a lot of these things. And this is one of the benefits about having Filoni, is that you're going to keep seeing things like that. I mean, even with the references from the Gungan and these other things that they have in there, there's going to be more and more references to things that tie into the overall canon. And Favreau even said as much in one of his interviews, that's what they're going to be doing more and more, connecting the entire universe. And Haskell, 420. When Baby Yoda raised his hand to use the Force and the droids and Mando blew a hole in him, when Baby Yoda looked at his hand like I did that, LMAO. Yeah, absolutely. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole show. DBNBA is the Kylo Palpatine scene in the newest trailer. The opening scene per Palpatine saying, "At last." Per JJ saying the first word in episode 9 is "at." I think that we absolutely will get that scene in the beginning. I said that earlier on SEN Live. I think it makes sense, and I think it throws us right into the fact that, guess what? Palpatine's back, and this is how. Otherwise, the last 10 or 15 minutes of the movie, David Ward, SEN is awesome. Mando is awesome. Facts. Well, thank you, and you're awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Haskell 420 again. A lot of great jokes this episode. I love the meta when Mando mocked Burr about being an Imperial sniper. He said, "I'm not a stormtrooper." I agree with you. That was what I was actually thinking of. I loved that. I loved that whole thing. Yeah, I really dug Burr in this episode. I'm really shocked that some people didn't like him. Real Geek Kev. Hey, also, Kristian, you notice that the prison cell Clancy Brown is missing part of his horns, and he's holding his head in agony. Enjoy watching these watch-alongs. Yeah, we'll do that together for sure. That's good. I'll look at that. David Ward, get the Pit Boss in for episode 8 and 9 discussions. I don't know if I'll be able to. He's doing his stuff, not the watch-alongs, but he's doing the reviews and counsel over on Collider. So I don't know what their policy is over there about that. So I mean, I'd love to have him in. So whenever he wants. Let's see. Now we're going to go back to Streamlabs before we start this watch-along. Please keep on coming to streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. The Schmoebot is open for you guys also. And then Exiled Garlic said, "This is my favorite episode so far. Did you like the..." we did that one. So Mike Esk, love this episode. Roka's nuts. 100% agree on the order of the episodes that you said. Is it possible that once the Mando attains his Sigly, his own clan is then created and is finally able to remove his helmet and reclaim his name? Certainly possible. Certainly possible. Whether or not that's the case, we're gonna have to tune in to find out. But yeah, I agree. I'm pretty shocked that Roka had such a disdain for this episode. I think, and a lot of his complaints were about the Bill Burr thing. But hey, to each his own. You didn't like it. I didn't feel as strong about the last episode as he does about this one. But is what it is. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm gonna turn on the actual disdain. What does that mean, Thomas? Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go and I'm going to turn the episode on, and we are going to play the episode, and I'll tell you guys when to gear up for it. Hold on. So is that which episode is this? Oh, that's episode 1. I don't want to watch that one. We've seen that one about 6 times. Sorry, guys. I thought I had it all set up and ready to go, but we're going to set up, and once I tell you exactly where to put your Disney Plus, wherever you watch it, whether you're watching on the computer or TV or whatever it might be, let's gear it up and get it ready. I'm hoping Carano comes back soon, man. She was really good. Did you guys like what was everybody's overall thought on the Twilight? Because I got mixed thoughts, and I'm at 002, by the way. Pause it at 002. Can you guys do that? Thank you so much. You know what's funny? So I just saw Copyright Strike Z Bandit says that Bill was a cynical brat like Han Solo. I thought he was way more Han Solo than the kid was last time. In his last episode, where they were trying to make him like the Han Solo, he felt more like it. DeZero says, "I wasn't a big fan of this episode at all, but you've made me appreciate previous episodes more, so I'm looking forward to the watch along." Well, good. We'll try to do that. I'm going to move this camera just a bit because I want to see, and then I'll get my. Hold on, I know that I'm not in frame all the way here. I'll do it. Oh, now I'm out of focus. Yeah, because I don't want to get the thing in the back there. So better. So that way I'm watching this thing along because I don't want to have the whole thing shut down. So let me get to a few more of these things because, like I said, I got to make sure that it makes sense to be able to do these every week. Exile Garlic was unfamiliar with who Bill Burr was, but I loved him in this. I think the Twilight was supposed to come across as annoying. Do you think we'll run into this crew again? I believe and hope we do. Well, 100%. You don't leave him alive if you're not going to bring him back. They're definitely going to bring him back for sure. The Twilight was annoying, like she was, but I agree with you. I think she was supposed to be, but I thought she was a little over the top sometimes with the and all that stuff that she was doing. Like it was weird. It was like a weird monster. It was, I don't know what she was doing. It was a little over the top sometimes, but I actually liked her. I thought she was fine. I liked the history, and I really liked the kind of creepy relationship with her and her brother, and it was, and the fact that her brother didn't really even give a crap about her at the end. It's like they're really they're rough for sure. That whole thing, the Twilight relationship there. Okay, so anything else here? No, sir. Okay, let's get to. Yeah. Okay, she didn't work. Okay, so let me see. Did you guys give me a quick thing? Just either liked or disliked the Twilight. I want to see what you guys think, and then I'll just kind of get an overall thought in the chat room here. Like or dislike? and then I will figure out disliked so far, liked. Yeah, see, it looks split, man. Clancy Brown rules. We know Clancy. Liked, no, liked. See, it's neutral. Yeah, it's neutral. It's a kind of. I didn't mind the accents. I thought the accents, the kind of rogue London accent, actually worked. Yeah. Nice, Saul. Good job. Yeah, it's really split. Oh, that's the most intelligent one I've seen so far. Hot Garb Review says dislike. She made my butthole itch. Okay, well, listen. That's a very Harvard thing to say. I did like the London accent. I thought it was all right. I thought it worked. Sorry, James. I don't mean to disappoint you there, pal, but I dug it. I liked it. Normally, sometimes I don't. It doesn't pull for me when they have the when they're speaking. Twilight's have always usually spoke basic, so I was cool with that. Yeah. I like the alien vibe, man, and Baby Yoda, and still the bad guys at the end. It wasn't the act; she was overacting. I could see that. I could see where she was overacting a little bit. I mean, I agree with that. Suge Knight 323 says, "Okay, sorry, I was late watching the cutscenes from the Schmoedown. Kristian, how cool was it to see the X-wings? It was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode. Also, can we talk about the end of episode 5 with the character that showed up? Oh, that's good. That's good. Who do we think? Do we think that's Boba Fett? So how about that? How about I'll go into the chat room again here. Yes or no? Is at the end of chapter 5 we saw some boots. Is that Boba Fett or is that Giancarlo Esposito? It's one of the two. So let's say Boba Fett. Yes or no? Yeah. No. Okay. So we say no there. How about Esposito? Do we think Esposito? Bo-Katan. You think you know what? It could be Bo-Katan. It could be Bo-Katan. I don't think you're crazy for that one. Cad Bane's possible too. I hope so. I hope it's a good reveal. I'd be a big excited. Yeah. I mean, I got to be honest. I hope it's not Esposito because that to me is not a. It's not it's not worth the tease of the boots if it's Esposito. But yeah, I wonder who Cad. Listen, you put Cad Bane in this show, I'm gonna lose my mind. I really hope it's Cad Bane. Nah, it's not Sabine. No chance it's Sabine. They're not going to show Sabine right now. All right. Let's see let's see anything else we have here. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. I'm going to push play, and when I do so, you guys do the same thing. I'll count it down, and then what I would like you guys to do also, I'll be looking over my shoulder here, and it can't be Sabine though. Sabine's out in the unknown regions. She's going to show up with that. Then where's that means then you got to figure out where's Ahsoka, where's Ezra, what happened to Thrawn. There's too much. Yeah, so that would be Bo-Katan would be a good one. That'd be a good one. And if it is, then I have to make sure that we get Katie on the show immediately. So, no, the unreleased episode of Cad Bane and Shot, it is canon. It is canon. Yeah, we're doing the recap for sure. But we are doing but yeah, it is canon. It's just we don't know whether or not he survived or not. That's the main thing. Sabine's kind of a loner. It's been 15. No, it hasn't been 15 or 20 years. It's been like 2 or 3 since she left. The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Jedi. She takes off with Ahsoka like a year or 2 after Jedi. So it's only been like 3 years, not 15 or 20. I think is that what you're saying? I'm not sure what you mean there, Jeremy. That doesn't. Yeah, it's not been 15 or 20 years. It's been like 3 or 4 for where that is in the timeline. So let me see. I'm going to check again and see if there's I'm going to try streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Or super chats. Keep those coming in so I can keep doing the show. All right, here we go. Ready to I talked about the episode 9 thing on STN today, and we'll have some more for sure. Grief Karga, that's possible also. So someone said it's probably some of the worst acting so far in the series, but still, you thought it was bad acting in this one? I thought the acting was pretty good in this one. I thought the acting was terrible in the last episode for at least two of the characters. This episode, I thought the acting was pretty good. Yeah, exactly. Ryan Kramer. No. Ryan Kramer. The Jedi. It's after Jedi. It's after Jedi. The yeah, it's New Hope is, it takes place after. Yeah. No. It's. I'm pretty sure you go back from what I'm pretty sure it's after Jedi. I'm pretty damn sure from I haven't watched the episode, but I'm pretty damn sure that it's after the episode after Return of the Jedi is when it's because that's why Sabine was there. That's Sabine, Hera, and all that. Yeah, and Rebels. Anyway, all right, let's get into this episode. So I'm gonna do something real quick just to double check. Hold on. I want to look at the lights here and make sure for you guys. Let's see. Nah, that's too. Try that. That works. Okay. So I'm going to turn the lights down here too. Keep the you start the watch at 002 because that's what I'm gonna. That's where I have it right now. So keep it at 002. And like I said, if you can keep on, I'll be looking over here for any super chat questions coming in, and I'll go back to the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown in a second. Schmoebot is on if you want to interrupt the show in the middle of it. Here we go. Ready? And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so the recap first. So, I mean, they're making a big point that, like that guy, he's just not good, that all these people are coming after this thing. So, I mean, so he's got nowhere to go, and he's a loner, Dottie, a rebel. They jump right into it right away. Still enjoying this opening intro though, man. The way that they just the logo with this. I think they would if they would have done that for the standalone movies would have been good too. Yeah, I always play the recap. I don't skip the recap. No, sorry. And the graphics in this, I mean, the CGI is just so damn good. It's just so damn good, and I understand people wonder why the episodes are so short. So they they really spare no expense when it comes to the actual CGI and the overall graphics of this thing. And this guy, I feel like this guy is always a go-to. He's like you always know he's going to be some kind of a scummy dude when he comes in. What's she looking at? Every single time, they're all grilling this guy too. Didn't they know him? That he used to work with them? I guess those are the new people, so maybe they don't know him from the day. But they all recognize him right away. How do they know that it's this Mandalorian? He's got new armor. I guess he knows because he made the phone call. Yeah, remember this? He was. Yeah, like this whole thing. You know from the second these two, like are talking to one another, that some kind of crazy something's going to happen. You can't trust this guy. He even says that you don't trust anybody. But it just shows though how whether it's Pedro Pascal in the outfit or not, that the actor who is in it's the movement and it's just a mixture, very similar to what they did with Darth Vader, how the body movement and the voice has to match up. And I love how they use the wipes, the old school wipes for. So Kristian Alante says, "I love the trap beat and the music in this episode." Me too. Music is done. The music's just brilliant in this show. Yeah. So I did like the idea when he said, we need the Razor Crest, and I'm like, why do they need that? And it's like, because it can avoid and we're and that's the other thing. We learned more and more and more. Like that's little things like that to me. When you learn more stuff about what his ship does, where it comes from, the ship has gotten a little bit of tidbits of information throughout the season. Again, not a filler. Yeah, he just kind of laughs at him. He's got his number, but ultimately in the end he gets it. But I like he's just kind of like a homeless Santa Claus. See, that line I didn't like. This is the guy. Like, why wouldn't it be? So what? He's a little smaller, but it's a badass helmet. You can rock that helmet. Yeah, see, I don't have a problem with Burr, man. I think Burr's great. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea because Bill Burr doesn't give a crap about Star Wars or the comic book movies or all that kind of stuff. He said as much, but like I don't need him to. It's like, does he fit? Do I believe him in this? And I do. Nick Bascom, it was cool to see a small glimpse of the New Republic in this episode. Exactly, Nick. I agree. It was one of my favorite things too that we get to see a little bit more of it. We're going to learn more of him too because he's made it. Even say it like it's a joke. Haskell 420, Mandalorian score sounds so much like Uncharted. Yeah, I can see that. I was curious because usually these goes two ways, right? When you have stories like this, it's either the one side is exactly how it went, that he goes on this adventure with these guys and he can't trust them, they turn on him and he's got to take them all out, or they respect him and then they wind up working with him. And I thought that was going to happen, and then after he fights all the droids and they still don't give him any respect, I was like, it's going the other way. Yeah. And another Canto Bite reference. Another reference, throwing the Canto Bite in there, like that. Now, see, now you guys remember that this species from Episode 4 in Mos Eisley. That was this got to be one of the first times we see him, right? He's gonna be sniffing his helmet like a dirty animal. But Clancy Brown's so good, isn't he? But yeah, this was from Episode 4. This species. Yeah, and I love that he throws in that Stormtrooper comment too. It was one of the best comments of the whole thing, because I think that was a nod to how bad they shoot, for sure. Goes back to that thing with his hate for the droids a lot, and it seems like he's always had a hatred for droids. And then here she is. Yeah, did all Twi'leks usually have those sharp teeth? Yeah, she's over. Yeah, like that. Yeah, she's like over. I mean, her personality. I mean, don't you know people like that in general who overcook everything? She's very theatric, I would say. She's she's theatrical. She's very theatrical. Good for you, Seb B. Good for you. You're moving up in the world, buddy. Who is she? The actress. Do we know her? But like, what happened with these two? And I mean, we find this conversation too. They had a relationship. Has she seen his face? So it looks like some people don't really like the Twilight. Keep the super chat and Streamlabs coming in there. I will answer them, the Streamlabs ones, as soon as I'm done with this. Yeah, I mean, but you knew that there was nobody on board that you seemed like, oh, he could form this kind of relationship with, that would be on. They simply, every one of these people were skunks, you know. And he does kind of put the kid in danger, doesn't he? Yeah, I think we heard enough about their relationship, Ed. I mean, you only have a half an hour. I can't go a full thing into it. But I did like how the droid started to, start to look into what the hell's going on with him and Grief, Kargas, and all of that. So, Natalia Tenya. Is that her name? Natalia Tenya. Who is that, Natalia Tenya? Let's try. Oh, yeah. So, that's hysterical. That is hysterical. So, oh, wow, that's so funny. I got to tell Winston that. So, she's the actress. She was in Harry Potter, which we talked about, and she was also in Game of Thrones. And I think she's great. So that's who she is. Okay. Really like her. The voice of Zero is not Taika Waititi. It's, what's his name? Wow, okay. It makes so much more sense now. The droid's awesome. Richard, what's his name? You guys know Richard Amode. Richard Amode, I think that's his name. Yeah, right. The guy from the Ed Crowd, Rich Iode. Yeah, and he's great. I do like the Zero's look because it's almost like it's like a human. You can tell it looks like a human in a costume, but you believe it's a droid. It's weird. He's got it looks like a human fly. Yeah, dude, Burr. I thought Burr took control of this. Yeah. Yeah, see, right then and there, the Mandalorian should have known. I think that's one of the things. It's like, how does the Mandalorian not know that these guys are going to pull a move? And I think he does for sure. Zuthius, Zero looks like a Power Ranger villain. Zero looks like a Power Ranger villain, kind of, but I think it actually works. What the hell are those guys doing? What's that girl? She's staring at go back to that scene. She's staring at the thing. I mean, come on. I love it. Yeah, he knows. He knows something's up from the second you look at this crew. Now, to me, this is where the show just starts to, get better and better and better. And I had a few elements from Lost. I felt in this, like the Others type thing. I felt like the Others. I thought there was also, when I say this, a Breaking Bad element. And then when I say that, it's just like this guy who shouldn't be involved in this thing, in this one particular mission, and he starts to get involved in it, and it just goes the absolute wrong way. You know, like that kind of stuff. Why don't hiss? There's no reason to hiss. It drives me crazy when characters hiss in general. Stop hissing. Yeah, the music's great. Now, if I'm the Mandalorian, I was shocked when he says you can go join the Others right here, and the Mandalorian goes, all right, and just takes off. Why? It's your ship. Stay there until you get off. I guess you probably want to make sure. Well, that makes sense. It actually makes sense because then you get these guys sniffing around the weapons, and then they find the kid. So I would be pretty pissed off too. And the second he jumps down, I love that he can do it straight, like from his suit. And this whole scene with the baby is yeah. And this is kind of like a preview to their fight later on. And this, I think Bill Burr drives the story the entire time. I think he drives the story here, and he says, look, I get it. You like your space. I like my space. Yeah. A little more history about the Mandalorians. Yeah. I didn't like his name though. What's his name? Like Berkowitz or something, or Steinberg, or what's his name? It just didn't fit for Star Wars. Steinway. Oh, so I know who you are now. When she says Mayfeld, now when she says that that she knows who he is. What does she mean by that? She really know who he is, or does she know like his personality? Well, I like that line, the Gungan line. And I'll tell you though, now that I know who that actress is, and I see she looks pretty damn good because I can't recognize her at all from and she's, because I really like her as an actress. I thought she was great in Harry Potter, and she was great in Game of Thrones. She was great in Game of Thrones. Yeah, I like how they convince us it's like a pet. Nice, Joey. Nice and subtle. Anything in lore about reincarnation with the baby? I don't think so. I hope it's not Yoda. That'd be stupid. The thing's adorable. And it's adorable. Yeah, Clancy Brown's the best. I did like when she kind of mocked him. She said, "This is the way." So she knows it all. I mean, the baby just lets him pick him up, too. This is the part that everybody lost their mindset, right here, because he holds on to an ice. He pretends he's going to toss him right here. Yeah. Well, Clancy Brown hasn't moved. He's just kind of resting now. He just went back, and he's chilling. But the droid drives like a real moron, because even our girl from Harry Potter and Game of Thrones says, like, "Hey, idiot." She's about letting us know. And he's sitting over there driving like Ford versus Ferrari. Yeah, the whole shot, yeah, right there. The baby lands, and you gotta this strengthens again and again the relationship of the Mandalorian and the kid. One scoop, football Football. Stop snarling, though. Like, you got to stop snarling. I wonder if was that a note to snarl? Suthius, do you think the season will end in a cliffhanger? Yeah, 100%. Well, 99%. Because they're going to let us know that season 2 is going to be, you can't miss it. It's also one of the reasons why they're going into production right away, because they knew this thing was going to be a massive hit. Mando is messed up with the defunct Empire, New Republic, and the Guild. Does he piss off the Hutts too? It looks like everything. Guys, I am reading off the Streamlabs and the Super Chats, so go ahead and fire them in as we do this watch along here. Now, what did they say to each other right there? Is that kind of the plan, that they know that they're going to they know they're going to screw him over? How often does this team work together too? Because he even says to him, "You go. Why do I go first?" Yeah, I love that. I liked when they throw back to the Empire Strikes Back, the little hatch on the Falcon. I want to know how many times these guys have worked together. I would like to see spin-off comics or books about some of these kind of side characters from Mandalorian. Be interesting to see. Oh, and there is a badass scene, and we'll see it in a little bit. Suthias, how often do you think Brendan Wayne is in the suit? A lot. I think he's in a lot. And for those people who didn't know, Bryce Dallas Howard came out and told about how majority of time that Pedro Pascal wasn't even in the suit. It was 2 stunt people, and one of them was Brendan Wayne. Ethan Nicholas, big fan of Mandalorian and overall loving Star Wars right now, but God, would I love to see some more lightsabers on TV. Give it time, man. Give it time. Obi-Wan, right around the corner next year or the following. So give it time. I wouldn't be surprised if Obi-Wan debuts next year sometime. So now remember, we'll talk about Obi-Wan another time. Yeah. There's a Young Guns moment in this also. I don't know if you guys are a big Young Guns fan. When he takes off and he's like, I knew it. And then he comes back around the side. And if I was the Mandalorian at that point, and this is coming up right here anyway, so we can just talk about it. But this is the scene where it's like I did like the New Republic stuff. That's a weird face the guy was making. But you see all these people and there's all these criminals or whatever they were, prisoners of war. And why does that guy still have an Imperial outfit on? Wearing it for 5 years? Yeah, but he knows something's going down, and the ship's clean. That guy's great. Stop hissing. It's like the 80th time you've hissed. No more hissing. This is hissing. Kristian Alante, I love how the computer displays are from the 70s, not even the 80s, 70s. That's old school. It's the same way they did it on the Falcon back in 77. But she's got to stop hissing. I like her, and I'm trying to defend her, but the hissing's driving me crazy. It's so funny. She doesn't even look like her. Are you guys sure that it is? It's Natalia Tena? Crazy. Yeah, the mouse. He's blasting mouse straight. He's got a good shot. Now these look like Battlestar Galactica droids, for sure. But I'm digging. I like these droids, and it's funny because even though they're like good guy droids, and it's such a great perspective to have, that we're watching it from, because we're watching the Mandalorian fight with these scumbags, and even though they're good guy droids, it's like, okay, good, the Mandalorian killed them all. He comes around the side here. He does this slide. Now, if I'm this team, and this guy is fighting, and he just does this, and he messes with all these droids, I'm probably second guessing whether or not I want to double cross him. I don't see the benefit of doing it. I don't see the benefit of double crossing him. I just don't. I think at this point you say, okay, look, let's work together with the guy. Figure out, he'll do his thing. It's people keep messing with this guy, and it's just a bad move. And this was something that RB3 was talking about earlier. This is Haskell, by the way. Haskell says, in the jail cells, you were hoping to see someone you recognize, be it from the movies or Rebels, just a cameo, or maybe something next season. I hated that bald-headed dude. He was a dick. You mean who? Bill Burr? You hated the character, or you hated him as an actor? Yeah. It's like at that point, it's like, why are you bumping the guy? He just saved all your asses. If I was Mandalorian, I'd say, F this, go back on the ship. And let him, take him out themselves. And then this is the part, this is where, once again, understanding, no, he doesn't go into the grief carcass thing yet. This is him just kind of tracking. Suthius, lots of space between armor. Surprise, no injuries. I'm sure. Met Bull, what up? Met Bull, I know you. Coming in late, how'd you feel about Burr's reference to Gungans, Cano Bite, Ban by Stormtrooper? Yeah, we covered it earlier, James the boy, and it was awesome. I loved that stuff. I thought that was a nice meta way to do it, but still keep it like it was actually real. So there we go. This is the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. That's right. But I thought it was very interesting when this scene happens, because I was like, well, what are they going to do with this guy? Because they're going to kill him, or is he going to shoot one of them? Like, how does this work? Or is he going to start work? I thought he might have been, because I couldn't place it. Obviously, I feel like an idiot now that I couldn't place who he was. But I said, he's recognizable. I know who the hell this guy is, and he's connected to the Star Wars universe. He's going to be, he's going to partner up with the Mandalorian. This is where the story is going to start tapping into, like, the New Republic and that stuff. But instead, we find out that he's got this link to get the actual New Republic there and stake him out. Yeah. See, Mandalorian though is he's a good dude, and he wants to talk it out first. And it looks like everybody's going to do that. And then this crazy Twi'lek. I mean, she's good with that knife. I really like the idea how she had that specific skill with the blade, but she messed up. Yeah, this whole thing kind of goes back to that opening episode, the pilot. But right here, she's over it. Did anybody? Yeah. Oh, see, but that was good for him. He pushed the button on the way out. Yeah, it's so funny. She's such a good. I think she's so good in Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. And I don't stop hissing. Stop hissing. But I do like her in this episode. Maybe it's just me. How do you? It was mixed when I asked before though. Is it the hissing that bothers you guys, or is it overall? It's the hissing. The battery powered knife. Well, that's what they have. You like the hissing, okay? Rory likes the hissing. I think it was just too much hissing for me. I want to maybe stop hissing. Should be a shirt. Yeah. The music's so phenomenal. This is what I was talking about before. When Clancy Brown just straight up Lawrence Taylor's him right now, tosses him down. And I do like the respect. See, this is the thing. And they have respect. He throws him into the next one, and Bill Burr gives him credit. And that's you got to give him credit for that. I mean, that was impressive. But I mean, you give the Mandalorian no credit for what he did before. And he did the Brock Lesnar there. Did you see that? Yeah. He's like, all right, nice move. But you don't give the Mandalorian any credit. I mean, Mandalorian's like half the size of that dude, and he did that blindfolded. Pricks. Yeah, I did agree with you, Ed. I thought that when it opened up, it was going to be like some big reveal, and I'm fine that it wasn't. But I did think it was going to be some kind of reveal from Rebels or someone that we've seen before. They should have found somebody a little bit more muscular. Yeah, it looks like he's been eating nothing or not working out or anything. Yeah. Oh. So that's why I always. Yeah, I wonder if they would have played it to where they respected him and they thought he was good, that it would make more of an impact when they tossed him in there, because we all expected that to happen, right? But the Mandalorian's going to get out one way or another. We know it. Now, this is where we find out more with the Grief Kargas thing and the recording. And this is a nice little setup to find out how Zero, the droid, eats it, because then, obviously you mess with the baby and you're messing with us. Going over to streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. Cool. So keep those coming over there in the super chats, because when we're done with the watch along, we're going to go back over there and talk. So, yeah. Yeah, I like his moves. to watch like the droid actually struggling is awesome too. But he's smart. That's what I like about him. He's not just brute force. He's smart. He thinks about it. He knows I got to get this stupid thing's arm, blast it in the head, and then get myself out. Yeah, he just does the job. But it does have this episode has a bunch of different feels for sure. I think that Rick does an amazing job in this episode. I think it was very, very well directed. Like that shot, just the close up of the thing opening. It's subtle, but it does the gig. You're walking out, and you see him. Like this was, I wasn't sure exactly what he was going to do here, because I was like, every time this poor guy, it always seems like he's losing his ship or something's happening to him, and don't you do it? Don't you hiss? Don't you hiss? And the Twilight brother's got a big head, big weird head. Yeah, well, he's alive. What do you expect? Well, you didn't end him, you moron. And because of it, now he's gonna get you. Daniel Dean, Rick Famuyiwa's skill is evident here. Superb. Totally agree. The direction stuck out like a sore thumb in a good way. Yeah, and I like now this is the horror part where he's kind of messing with them. He's got him. So I also want to know though, like at the very end though, how like who survives and who doesn't when the New Republic comes in and bombs a ship, because the Mandalorian's making a lot of enemies too. Yeah, Hera would beat the shit out of those two Twi'leks. I agree. Yeah. Baby shows up. The baby's one of the greatest things ever. I thought at first that Twi'lek was Toby Kebbell. Toby Kebbell would have been great in that role. Now, is the baby's messing with the droid, right? Totally. Yeah, the droid's a real scumbag, though. I'll tell you that, because how do you look at that baby and the first thing you want to do is shoot it? The baby's smart. It's like, I'm getting the F out of here. I'm going to go back to my shed. Yeah. Mayfeld doesn't seem like a Star Wars name to me. Yeah, it's a rotten face. What about it? Yeah, I don't think I do like this guy. He's creepy looking. I don't know. He's just not very intimidating, I don't think. But I guess that's kind of the point, maybe. I think Clancy Brown is incredible in this episode. Love him in this. He's the big brute. But yeah, I don't understand why you leave him alone. Why you leave him alive. Haskell 420, I was hoping for some rebels or movie characters in the cell, but with all those prisoners they showed, I expected to see a known character teased. Yeah, I mean, I did too, but it doesn't, it didn't bother me at the end. It's like, sometimes you throw it in there when it's relevant, and it doesn't seem like it was relevant to do it, so I get it. But right away, I mean, you can see him. He's always thinking like 10 steps ahead. So we know what happens at the end. The second he picks up the tracker right there, he knows. He goes, okay, I'm going to get these pricks a little later. And then you got Doey McGillicuddy here and Bill Burr. Yeah, they can't get in touch with him. I mean, just the whole way that this thing is shot. In the red, blinking. I would love to get Bill Burr's thoughts on this scene right now, though. He's got this guy in the Twi'lek head touching his face. Yeah, I think that's kind of the point of both Twi'leks. They're both over the top. I mean, Twi'leks are over the top in general. I think that's probably, it's who they are. It's so crazy, though, that this is that actress. I didn't realize it was her. Makes sense. The same kind of movements. Now, this was the scene. Now, you show me, though, when he does this fight, and he winds up fighting the Mandalorian here, and he gets put down in the second time with this. I don't know how he survives that. I gotta see what you're talking about there with the how he survives through the doors. I don't see it. How does he know that the weapons are there? But how does he? I guess he doesn't. I love that little baby. Why does the baby go back in the thing when he knows that this thing's hunting it at this point? I mean, it's 50 years old. It's aware. See, Clancy Brown's like 55, 60 years old or whatever he is, and he's moving good. I had a chance I interviewed Clancy. Clancy Brown was one of my first interviews on one-on-one. Sat down with him for like an hour and a half or whatever it was, and I loved talking to him, man. He was cool. He was a cool cat. I liked Clancy a lot. He's a nice guy. So it was really good to see him in this show. And I believe it. I mean, he's a very big dude, by the way. Very big dude. And you could see him. Yeah, this whole scene here. Well, what did the Mandalorian expect to do? Did you really think you were going to be able to pull this big guy up? No, he pulls you right down with like just a shoulder shrug. I mean, this is, that was not, but now did you waste? Are the whistlers? Are they the birds? Are they done? This scene, like, yeah. What do you do against this guy? And I love this because he's a devil, man. You can't burn the devil. Yeah, right at it, smashing his head, and it's like a bar fight almost. But I mean, this is something about this the Mandalorian. He's always in trouble, but he finds a way out of it. This girl loves to run. This is it. Let me see. See, that's where you lose though, because you try to see his face, and what you should do is just try to kill him and get your rotten teeth out of there, you stink bag. But okay. So let's watch this together. Tell me how this guy survives, because I still don't understand. Okay, I get it. Hits him in his neck. He's really strong. Now he's up. Now, okay, great. I got you. I don't know, man. I don't know how he survived that. I don't know how he survived that. Oh, Son Solar, couldn't disagree with you more. I don't think it jumped the shark at all. Jumping the shark, that's an irrelevant term. The term does not fit for. You could say it's not good, but jumping the shark is if like a Marvel character popped in, or if like or something absolutely ridiculous out of nowhere kind of comes in. Not if you don't think they're good episodes. That's your opinion. But I think people overuse that term, jump the shark. They don't really know what it means. Jumping the shark, it came from Happy Days, and they didn't know what to do anymore in Happy Days, so they had a scene where the Fonz came in on a jet ski and jumped over a shark, and that was the episode. What is jumping the shark about this episode? It's fill. You want to call it filler? Fine, but that makes absolutely no sense. So this is the showdown, and they even tease that in the beginning there. I did like the way she's the movements, the knives, and everything too. It's a great fight. I like it. She's hissing again. This time the hissing to me works. And why doesn't he? Yeah, again, he doesn't take her out, and that was right when you said, okay, well, you don't see her take her out, so I didn't think that he was going to kill her. They would have showed that if that was the case, and I thought maybe he keeps her alive because of their past relationship, Yeah, now Burr is scared out of his mind at this point. I did this, man. This is the horror part of it, and I thought it's so cool the way that this was shot. Comes around him on the side, and it's over, Prime. Yep, nice try. He took out the whole crew just like that. Just like that. Yeah, it was like a Batman scene for sure. This guy. What's his name? Quaid? Yeah. So we got to figure at this point, Quinn, right? You got to figure at this point that he knew exactly what he was going to do. Oh, come on, you don't pull the gun on this guy. You know it, and he's also smart enough to know. Just take the job. Just do the job, Mando. Come on. Yeah, it's like, like I said, when he took the beacon from the tracker from the Republic soldier, he knew right away what his plan was and what he was going to do. Wow arrest. Bill Burr being him took me out as leader of the crew. It seems to be like it's two stages, man. Some people feel exactly the same way that you do, and others feel the way that I do, and I think they actually fit into the role. But you're not alone. A lot of people feel that way. I liked him though. I thought he was great. Yeah. So this was the only one that we actually see die is the droid, because you take the droid out. Now RB3 thought that was a Disney move because you don't see anybody die, but then again, you saw an alien die in the first episode. He got split in half. So, I think it's more about this is a great scene. Like Ed pointed out before, look at me, look how powerful I am. And he blasted the droid itself. But I mean, the other thing too, just to throw that against RB3 is that that other bounty hunter they blasted right in the chest that was going to take out Yoda. So I think he left this crew alive because of the girl and the relationship that he had with her, and there was no reason. And but I guess I don't know why I mean, if it's Clancy Brown, he should have taken Clancy Brown out, because Clancy Brown tried to kill his ass a couple different times. So, Hell Media, we are right after he breaks out towards the he just took out the crew, and now he's headed back to the ship to drop off his homeless Santa Claus, and now he shows up. I do like this actor though, man. He's in a lot of stuff. He's one of those character actors that you see a billion times over. Yeah, the Mando themes is great. Jeremiah Morris, what's up, Jeremiah? Hello, Kristian. I'm loving these so far, and even my mom, who isn't a Star Wars fan, is loving it. When they could get her raving about it, it is great. Oh, so yeah, man, I'm glad your mom's enjoying it. It's a fun show. No questions asked. That's fine. That's the policy. All good. That is the policy. Yeah, look at his big belly hanging out too. Like he's been around the galaxy doing his thing. But the only thing though is like, he had this whole nice relationship with him, and it's pretty easy to say kill him. I would have liked it if the Twilight turned around and said he made the move, like but I guess he's just part of the crew. But no, he knew. The Mandalorian knew that this was a screw job. Yeah, the Twilight, both Twi'leks are over the top. Wowzers, love the director cameos. Yep, Chow, Filoni, and Rick for sure. That's coming up right now. That baby just chilling. But he's got to keep this baby out of danger, man. He's putting him in some places here. The last two episodes he tried. Kill him. Twilight thinks that's so funny. Well, you're not gonna in a second, you little bastard. That ship is incredible. I love that ship. That ship is badass. That's old school too. Yeah. I thought he poisoned him at first. When I saw him kind of moving like that, I was like, oh, he gave him like the ricin. But then, how does he know what it is, you idiot? You just got there. How does he know what it is? Yeah, he got you. Well, you should, But Mandalorian would have felt like a real jerk if. But why didn't they stop the Mandalorian there? He's leaving the ship. It's like There's Filoni. There's Rick from. I never get his name right. And obviously Deborah Chow at the end, pulling in. I like that they did that. I thought that was a cool little nod. And I don't want to hear about, they could have put actors in that role. They could have not had those roles. And it's awesome. And there's Deborah Chow. I'm a big fan of Deborah Chow, man. I can't wait to see her episode next week. See what she did. Follow up. All right. So how many of these people die? Let's see. Yeah, because we don't see the Twilight die. He's just running away, and they blow up the ship. They're blowing it to hell. So I don't know. And that's it. He's out. I did like this nice ending. Taylor Gordon says, "Are we getting an Item Versio cameo?" I think that it would fit. It would totally fit. And Janina Gavankar is incredible. This is great. This is like an ongoing bit that I hope keeps happening. When's the baby gonna start talking though? That's the other question. How old are they before they start learning how to talk? I mean, shoot, they could be 100 for all we know. Yeah, she snarled again. Oh, okay. So his horns are broken. Looks like his horns are broken. Yeah. But what are they going to do in there? Yeah, right. I guess they're just going to be screwed in there. That's basically what it is. But where's the ship going? Like, I guess they'll just get picked up by the New Republic because there's all the droids are gone, and then the other dude's gone. It kind of reminds me of the shoot, Non and Zod and Ursa, the three of those. I love the art is so great. I gotta find that out. If it's gotta be Favreau's art. It's so good. Like this whole thing. Now that character was not there. Far right. That was original. Mark Boone Jr. I think that was Santa Claus. Bill Burr. Natalia Tenya. That's right. Okay. Clancy Brown, obviously. Richard Ayoade was Zero. Carl Weathers. I was so confused by that, but then it was the hologram. Ismael Cruz Cordova. I guess that's the brother. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, ladies and gents. Ba-ba-dum-bum-bum. That's that is the full episode. And then J.W. Bosman said, I liked everyone except the Harley Quinn knockoff. Millsy B just puts in $1. Thank you. Arrowfish1, you think we'll get Blu-ray releases at season's end? I don't know the answer to that question. Someone asked that recently. I don't know if that's beneficial to to Disney Plus. You know, I don't know if it's beneficial. I think it's not. It's okay. It's not Filoni's art. The Star Wars Twitter account named the different concept artists. I see. I think there will be a progression, though, Thrawn. I think that for this season, it's probably all serialized, but I think eventually there will be a progression in the story. I think for sure there will be. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Let me start. Let me go back. What I'm gonna do here to close out. If you guys are brand new to the show, we did a full-on spoiler review, and then we did a recap of last week, and then I go through Streamlabs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the rest, see if I missed any. If not, we call it a day. So let's get into streamlabs.com here, and we'll start with Suge Knight. We did Suge Knight. Mike Esk. The next episode title, it hasn't been revealed yet, but on IMDb it's described as an old rival extends an invite to the Mandalorian to make peace. Holy crap, it's frickin' Boba Fett. I don't necessarily know if that's the case. Some people are thinking it could be Cad Bane, could be anybody, but it's a cool description. Ben Robran. I would have lost it if Goldblum voiced Zero. All the hissing got old. After a little bit, there was too much hissing. Exiled Garlic, super subtle thing, I guess, but I love the motion of the droid. I did too. I appreciate how much he doesn't move like C-3PO, but more like a droid modified to a bounty hunter would, more human-like. Yeah, I said that earlier. I agree with you. I think that was really cool the way that they did that. Let's make sure that I got all the super chats. Let's see. I did. I think I got all of them. Just double checking. Yeah, jails. Okay, so Haskell 420 in the jail cells. No, you got that one for sure. Computer designs. Yeah, I did a lot. I got a lot of these, so I got all of them, I think. So, all right, I'm going to check this real quick, Streamlabs, and if not, I'm going to call it a day unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. Look into the thing right here. Nick Bascom says, great recap and watch-alongs as always. Thanks, Kristian. Look forward to next week. Schmoedown. Well, thank you guys. And thank you guys for joining me on these watch-alongs. Again, I apologize for not having it on next week. These are available on audio form. You can go to the Mandalorian Reviews plus Talking Star Wars with Harloff on anywhere podcasts are found. So if you want to listen to them on audio, you can do it. Just make sure you go on over there. Subscribe. Leave me a comment. It helps tremendously. If you guys are Schmoedown fans, I hope you are. Even if you're not, you want to try it, please do it. Schmoedownlive.com. We're going to be January 11th. We're going to be doing the awards and the draft. Then January 25th, we're going to be in Brooklyn. So make sure you check us out there. February 29th, we're going to be in Atlanta. I put up a full video of all the cut scenes. We did a fan contest, and one fan, same guy who does the Schmoedown Central, put together 3 hours worth of all the scenes that we do. So if you want to catch up and see some of the scenes that we did for the cut scenes of the Schmoedown, it's available right now. Honestly, it might still be Might still be on the damn running a live stream at the same time. Haskell 420 Mando drops Wednesday morning. Spoilers that day. Gonna try it. We'll see. Next week's gonna be pretty busy. Going to see Rise of Skywalker on Monday night. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to thank you guys for joining here today. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. As always, I will see you on SEN Live on Monday. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you once again for a wonderful week here on SEN. I really, really appreciate it. Up one more time. That's Haskell. He did it. Okay, thank you. All right, and with that, my Jeremiah, just got my flight to New York City going to see Ellis live. Is there going to be anyone else performing? Possibly. We're looking to do an SEN Live on that Friday afternoon at the same club, so we'll keep you updated on that. That's it. Everybody, I thank you. I thank you kindly. We'll see you on Monday for SEN Live. Go on over there if you haven't watched. We're doing some great shows this week, and I really appreciate your thoughts, and leave comments and do the likes, do the whole thing. Peace out, Mother F's. All right, where is this thing? I got to turn it off. Oh, there it is.